This is just a fun screensaver that we have on the ActivTable.
Okay, that's noisy.
All of the waves and none of the wetness.
Exactly. Are you guys, so I know you're a principal and the rest of you are administrators, teachers,
I'm just a
principals?
trustee.
Okay.
I'm a principal.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. So this ActivTable is the newest addition to our Promethean technology. Built into this is a Windows 7 computer. So I always pull it out to this screen first so you can see it as you would your regular computer. Just keep in mind as I go through this is our demo table, so if you see any glitches as I'm tapping on stuff, that's why all of that gets worked out before it actually gets shipped out. One of the things that I like to do before even demonstrating the Promethean software is to show you other ways to utilize something like this in a classroom setting. So, for example, this is Microsoft Surface Globe, and this is a Microsoft application. It doesn't have anything to do with Promethean, but it's just a great tool to use in a classroom. So let's say as a teacher you want to take your students to New York for the day. I can go in here, type in New York, and you can see as I'm typing it's also showing up down there. When I hit enter, it's now going to take me to New York. And how quickly this works is really going to be based on our internet connectivity. The touch sensitivity is all along the sides using infrared technology. So if you're leaning on it, your sleeves are covering it or anything like that, it will interfere with it. Easiest thing to do is to use 2 fingers to manipulate it. So we can go like this, take your students into New York, see the World Trade Center side there. We can go in pretty deep. And then once I'm in
George!
there,
No, it's not good like that.
That's his hot dog card.
once I'm in there, if I tap this button, it's now going to change it to a 3D view. And I'm going to rotate this around, and hopefully nobody gets motion sickness. It kind of gives you an idea of how deep you can get within the program. So as a learning tool, if you want to show your students, okay, where is the Statue of Liberty in relation to Manhattan? We can now zoom out. We can look for Liberty Island, zoom into the Statue of Liberty. We can rotate that. We can change it to a 3D point of view. I always tell teachers the way you would utilize something like this in a classroom is really based on your own creativity. There's a building in Toronto made up of a lot of geometric shapes. Have a class find that, a math class, and now they can measure the angles. You know, whatever they're learning about in the classroom, they can now go find that on here and now visually be able to see it. It just makes it more engaging and interactive for them as well. So I'm going to take you into the Promethean ActivTable software. A teacher starting out their day is first going to go into the activity session. Everything is password protected so that the teacher controls it and not the students. And this one I'm going to flip around for you guys. So this table can be used from anywhere from up to 1 to 6 users at a time. Each user is going to be assigned an avatar, or you can also upload the child's pictures, which we always recommend, and that way you know exactly who's doing what on your table. It allows for grouping, so if you have a group in the class at a certain level of math, certain level of reading, maybe special needs group, you can customize the settings for each one of those groups and save that, so now every time they're at your table, just click on that and they're ready to go. You can select the positioning that you want for your 1 to 6 users around the table. You can also assign specific seats, so if we don't want Bobby and Tommy sitting next to each other, we can assign them seats on opposite ends of the table. You can also select which of the activities you want made visible on the main screen, that way the students can only choose from what you make available to them. So once we have that set up for your day, now we can have the students go into the activities and applications. Do you guys work with elementary, middle, high school?
And elementary.
Elementary?
712.
Okay.
712.
Okay.
Elementary.
So we got a little bit of everything. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a couple different activities that'll kind of touch on all of those, and then as well as demonstrate different features. This first one is a thing called Make a Ghost Story. This table is designed to be a collaborative learning experience, so that everything is done on a consensus basis where each user has to agree to enter or exit any activity. We have it set up for 4 users right now. Again, you can have a maximum of up to 6. So if you guys want to go ahead and hit the green OK button in front of you. The avatar that you see here is your main button in all of your activities. Anytime you want to access the toolbox, if I tap on that, that opens up the toolbox for me. So with this one, we are building a story. So if I were to put this here and I tap this now,
Once upon a time.
you can see how it's reading it back to me. And then if you're to take words and add it onto there, as long as it's touching and facing the same direction, it'll now connect to read it
Once
together.
upon a time there.
You guys are more than welcome to grab words and add it onto that.
It's easier to use 2 fingers to manipulate. Yeah, there you go.
It takes a little bit of getting used to. Put that out of your way.
Well, my magnetic personality doesn't have
Was
And it'll only tap if you tap the was. It'll just say the was.
Did it have to touch?
It does have to touch for it to read together. So let's see if we have an N out there.
Oh, yeah, you might want to have that. You never know.
So now if I go back to here and tap this.
Once upon a time there was an empty.
So let's say we wanted to add the word large after that, and we don't have the word large out there.
House.
What I can do is if I tap this, and the difference between this and your regular touch screen is that we're not tapping this, but we're actually going to put our finger on it and just swipe it forward. I can type out the word large, and then I can use this button here to customize that box even further, and now I can just pull that right off.
Large.
So now I can add that word in that I need also. And now if you want to go back and tap it from where you wanted to start reading from, if I tap it
Once
here.
upon a time there was an empty large house.
So the reason I like this activity, even though this itself is pretty elementary, is you can really take this and customize it for any kind of class. If it's math, 2 + 2 = 4. Higher level, you can do algebra. History, you could do the world wars, the dates, the countries that were involved. Chemistry, high school, you could do the periodic table. We had a special needs class in here typing out their names. They loved being able to hear it, play that back to them. Then they saw if they accidentally switched letters, now it's not reading it correctly to them. So you can take any kind of lesson and put it together with this. Within this, you can also add pictures. So let's say we want to add a picture of a frog to our story. This is a cool feature that everyone loves. It's our scanner. So if I stick that in there, it's now going to make copies for me. And that's with anything you throw in there. If I throw words in there, it's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take you guys out of this one and take you into another activity. Go ahead and hit the yes button for me. This next one I'm going to show you something called Christopher Columbus's Web Quest. This will demonstrate the internet browser capability. So go ahead and hit the OK button. And we're going to turn down the volume on this one. The sound effects are a little louder. So for this one, each one of these cards here contain a question related to Christopher Columbus's voyages. If you tap the card, it's now going to flip over and ask you a question. So go ahead and tap your cards. Each one of these coins here contain links to answers to those questions. So if I were to go in here, and I can pull out my browser, and then I can take this coin, hold it over my browser. The coin will go back, but it's going to open up whatever link is associated with that coin. So on this site contains an answer to one of the questions that are out there. Might not be the answer to my question, but now it's forcing us to collaborate. Now we have to talk and figure out, okay, whose question does it actually answer? Let's say through that process we find out that it answered your question. I'm not just passing off my browser to her, because you can see it's my avatar, it's my browser on there. But what I can do, if you want to go ahead and tap your avatar, the second one is your browser. Just put your finger on it and swipe it forward.
This one?
And then you can resize that and bring it back down by just grabbing that gray bottom bar. So what I can do is, using this camera icon right here, I can take a snapshot of what's on my screen. I can then take that snapshot, hold it over your browser. When I let go, it's now going to open up that same link on your browser. So now you can work on answering your question while I move on with other coins, open up other links. And
Trying to find yours.
And we can have up to 6 different internet browsers all running at the same time, looking up completely different things. So once we've done that and we've looked up the answers to our questions, let's say this is the form the teacher wants filled out, I can go in here and pull out my keypad, take this and link it up to my keypad so that now I can type directly on it. So you might have one student that's maybe typing this and talking with everyone else, or maybe I'm doing a portion of it, taking this and now passing it off to the next person.
It's laughing.
Teaching languages.
I could identify it from here.
As a teacher, you can customize which questions you want on here, which website links you want to go with the coins, what form you want them to fill out, whether it's history, science, math related, whatever it may be. This is a great one that you could use in a middle school classroom. So go ahead and hit yes. Middle school or high school.